everybody, it's Claudia from Create with Claudia. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today's episode number 4 of my Working Our Scraps Off series. This is a series I do every month, once a month, and I try to post on the 4th Friday of each month where we work off our scrap fabrics. And I know you and I all have a lot of them. All us quilters have like stacks and stacks of scraps that we never know what to do with. So I came up with this YouTube series that every month I'll show you a new project, be it quilted, no-sew. In fact, this month is no-sew. I probably won't be doing a lot of no-sew projects, but because it's the summer, I sort of like to take it easy on my sewing machine. This month I'll also be using supplies that I got at the dollar store. It makes it for a nice and inexpensive craft, and this is going to be a lot of fun. It's actually what I'm making are scrap fabric decoupage glass bowls or glass containers. And I'll show you a couple, there were a couple pictures at the beginning, and we're going to make one out of green today. I already made one out of green, I've made one blue and one pink, and they're lots of fun to make. And again, super easy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I always love new subscribers. Thank you so much. And I am on social media at Create with Claudia. And I do have a blog post on this craft as well. It's over at www.createwithclaudia.com. So thanks for stopping by and enjoy the video. So one of the things I said last month was, number one, this was going to be a no-sew project this month. And it is definitely a no-sew project. But I also said I was going to be filming in my backyard. Well, that was a big failure. Let me tell you, I've never filmed outside before, and I didn't realize it was a real sort of overcast, and then it got really sunny. And basically, you could not see anything. The birds were singing, which was lovely for me, but not so lovely on camera. And it was also pretty breezy. And so you couldn't hear what I was saying. And the light was really bright when the sun came out. So you couldn't actually see the craft I was working on. And to top it off, I had my head chopped off. So basically, all you saw were my hands working, which on some crafts work, but not on this video. So what we're going to be doing this month is a no-sew scrap fabric decoupage glass container. And I got my containers and a lot of other supplies, which I'll show you in a minute. I got those all at one of my local dollar store. So not only is it easy, it's no-sew. So if you want to break, you can actually do this out on the deck. It would be nice. And then you get that, you'll need to be out somewhere where you have a nice ventilation when you're doing this project. So not only can you do this outside, it's really inexpensive. So here's an example of what I did, and this one is in the teal blue. One of the things I will tell you is when you do the Mod Podge with the decoupage with the glue, and I used Mod Podge, I'll show you that in a second, it does make the fabric darker, so don't think it's going to look exactly like the fabric that you're putting onto your glass container. So I made a round one. And then I made this one, which I thought would be really cute for like pencils or something, and that is in pink. And again, these were really pale pinks, and they're not quite so pale anymore. And then I made this green one, and we're going to be making the green one. This was actually the one I did in the video yesterday, which was the big fail lesson learned. But anyway, so we're going to be making another green one today, and we will get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is protect your work surface. And I'm just going to put down a couple paper towels. You can use wax paper, whatever you want. It's up to you. I definitely wouldn't use newspaper because the glue makes the print, that black print, it makes it smears it, and then it'll get on your fabric, and you don't want that because then I don't think it'll come off. You're going to need scissors. Of course, scrap fabrics. Now, here's my hint on the scrap fabrics that you use for this. I would definitely use batiks for this project. Let me show you why. Batiks don't have well, they do, but it's hard to tell the back from the front on a piece of batik fabric. And because it's glass, it's clear glass, you can see the inside. So you want the inside to be as pretty as the outside. So I would recommend batik scraps for this. You do not have to use batik scraps. It's totally up to you. That's just my suggestion. I like that because that way when you see the inside, it's like, oh, that looks really pretty. So you need your container, any size. I would suggest one, this has a little bit of a ridge on the bottom. I wouldn't get anything with too many ridges or bumps or points. That'll make it harder to decoupage, and sometimes it may not stick real well in those little nooks and crannies. You're gonna want a sponge brush. Again, from the dollar store, I got a pack of like 8 for $1, which, I use these all the time. You're going to want decoupage glue. I use Mod Podge, but any decoupage glue will do. I have not tried with this with regular sort of school glue type thing. Anything that dries clear, I don't know how that would work. This works really well, and I used Mod Podge matte for this project. And lastly, I do use gloves because this project gets unbelievably messy. You're going to be using a lot of, your fingers to smooth things down. You'll get glue everywhere. So I highly recommend using gloves, and also you don't want to get the glue chemical on your fingers. I'm not sure, I didn't read the specifics or anything, but you don't want to get that on your fingers either, or on your clothes. Okay, so now we're ready to get going. Number one, I would take the label off. I just didn't do that today, but you can take that off if you want. And then you're just going to put your gloves on. You might be able to get the gloves at a local dollar store too. I don't know. These I had in my closet upstairs. I always have a box around for that. And then you're going to start. Oops. I've had this jar of glue a long time. You're going to take your glue and you're just going to start generously applying some. I start with the upper part, and you are going to turn that fabric. I'll show you in a second. So you're going to turn it on the inside so that the rim of the glass is covered, and you want to be pretty generous with this the glue because it does dry clear. And then you're just going to start. This is the fun part. It's like coloring. You're just going to start putting some pieces of fabric on. You might need to cut them. I don't like to go too deep on the inside. That's completely up to you. Let's see, we'll just put that here. Put just a little bit over. And you're going to smooth it down with your fingers. And that's why I wear the gloves. And then you're going to apply a second layer of the decoupage glue on the outside of the fabric. And again, I'm generous with it. You just want it to stick. You want to make sure it sticks nicely. Like so. And then we'll pick another piece. Let's see. This is pretty. Tried to find all the same tones in my greens. You could do this multicolored. Hey, whatever colors you want to be really pretty in so many different color combinations. Now this does have a little ridge, so I'm not going to cover that. I'm just going to go right above it. And we'll just put this, let's see, maybe like so. This is where your true artist self comes out, and you can really, takes you back to kindergarten when you were playing with crayons and just coloring all kinds of fun things. And you can see how it moves around a little bit, and that's why you want to wear the gloves, so you can manipulate it back into place. Now this glue dries pretty quickly, so you want to go ahead and keep moving on it and make sure your pieces are in place. The other thing is watch out for little stray threads, that kind of thing. You might want to take them off as you're working before they dry, just because sometimes you'll get a piece of thread there and you'll see it. If it's a different color, it won't blend in like you might want it to. All right, so you get the idea. I'm just going to keep working around the whole vase, and then when I'm finished, you'll see the finished product. Okay, so I am pretty much done. I do have one little spot here, and that is, when you wonder what you're going to do with these teeny tiny scraps, here's an idea for them. Don't throw it out, just cover up. There's that one little spot here. So I'm just going to cover that up really quickly. You want to, when you're done, you want to look around, make sure everything's covered, or you can leave some of it blank. That would be pretty too if you're using this as a, depending if you're putting like a flameless tea light in it. And you're just going to go around. I like to smooth the edges, make sure nothing's bubbling up. Make sure it's all covered. Let me move all this stuff out of the way. There we go. So this is what it looks like now. And now you're going to set it aside. I would put it like on a piece of a paper towel, or probably wax paper. And you're going to want to, especially this one isn't so bad. I might wipe this off actually before I set it aside. Just wipe off that rim a little bit. Any stray threads that you might want to get. Whoops. Well, see, there we go. It's easy to, luckily it's still a little wet, so you can get off all those stray threads. I wipe off right around here on this edge. I will also wipe off in case any glue went down, sort of dribbled down in the middle. Just sort of get that little, just clean it off a little bit. All right. So what I would do now is I'm going to set this aside on a piece of paper, wax paper, something like that. For the first hour or so, while it's still really sticky and the glue hasn't dried, I will actually pull it off of the paper towel just so I know, so it doesn't stick and dry to the paper towel. Let me get my gloves off because I'm sticking to everything. But that is why you want the gloves. I tell you, it gets really messy really fast. And I'm going to move all of these things out of here and I will show you the finished products. Okay, so here we go. I don't even know, this cost me all of like $1, gosh, maybe $1.50 to make, because you have the container's $1. The scrap fabrics, I have no idea how much they are. They're just scraps that I've collected over about 30 years of quilting. And again, these are batiks. What I would use these for, somebody asked me that when I was actually telling a friend I was going to do this. All kinds of things, but there are a couple warnings with this. The one thing actually I am going to do is, I bought these little tea lights. They are you know, battery operated. These are the kind that flicker. These were from the dollar store too. This would be a really pretty votive holder. However, do not use regular candles. Use flameless, the battery operated tea lights or candles. I'm guessing, I don't know with the glue, but you don't want this could be flammable. So do not use candles that have a real flame on them in this. You could also put, maybe like, let me put that in there. We could put paper clips in it. I always thought this pink one actually would be pretty for pens or pencils, like a pencil holder for a desk. Nice and heavy. I would not put food in this. Again, you have all this glue and a lot of it is on the inside. Don't put any, this is not a food safe container. So it's not flame safe and it's not food safe, but they look really pretty. And honestly, you don't have to put anything in them. You could just put them on a shelf to decorate. But I think paper clips, like you could make a whole set of them for somebody. So that is episode number 4 of Working Our Scraps Off, a no-sew project. It's how to decoupage glass containers. Specifically how to decorate them from the dollar store, but quite frankly, I bet you all have like a glass on your cupboard. You could even do just a regular drinking glass and spruce it up and put pens or pencils or paintbrushes or whatever in it. Be lots of fun. So next month I'm debating between a quilt as you go like mug rug type of thing or tablecloth, table runner or placemat type of thing, which is really easy and a little bit unique and fun to do, or a quilt block that I've come up with, a real scrappy one. Either one, I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to do. I do have a Facebook group. Make sure to head over to Facebook called Working Our Scraps Off, and hopefully when people do my projects, all of the projects I've done, you'll post them over there. I'd love to see what kind of projects you do with my suggestions. And I'll also post the videos of past projects up there. You can also find those on YouTube. And my website is www.createwithclaudia.com. So thanks so much for stopping by and have a great day.